Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of the Complicated Apes. You're joined with Nadun, Nishadi,
Hello.
and Jinji.
Hi.
So Mashang, to start off, we did a great podcast last time, right?
We
Exactly. It was
I
amazing.
think it was a success
did. I mean, yeah,
for
it
the
was.
first one.
Yeah, and we got some good
We
feedback
got
as
some
well.
good feedback. That means people were interested.
Yeah, it
They
was
were commenting and stuff.
good and bad both.
Yeah, how do you feel about it?
Kind of sad as well in society, but
Right.
we got more criticism than positive comments.
Right,
But I feel like we came on this platform not to do something bad,
right.
but something good.
But that means they're invested, right? They're taking the time to
exactly.
commit.
Yeah.
See, I mean, you can't really expect everybody to give positive feedback as
That's
well.
true.
And mostly people tend to give, negative feedback.
Yeah.
So it's a part of the process, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I feel like we should just stay positive and we should try to change their minds.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's a good thing.
Feedback is feedback. And
Feedback
maybe we will not be able to change their mind, but
And
still.
also there's things that we can learn from them as
Yeah,
well, right?
Exactly. And
It's a learning process.
I urge everybody to keep commenting, keep telling us your ideas.
Yeah.
We will not take it in the wrong way. No hard feelings. Express what you want to express because you are going to have a different opinion because you have a different perspective on life
Yeah.
than any of us, right? So it's your platform to provide that feedback.
Yeah, at the end of the day, this is just our opinion.
Exactly.
We're not going on any facts, but we're just talking about how we feel inside.
Right. Something that we don't feel very good about right now is the dating scene, right?
Oh,
Everybody's reactions just were like,
oh
Nope.
boy, love and romance. Where is that going now? You know what?
No, we are good.
No, we're good. So before we discuss, I mean, I don't want to be misogynistic, so I'm gonna let the lady kick it off, and then
Right.
we'll come around to it.
Ladies first.
Ladies first.
ladies first.
Always.
Yeah.
Okay, so we were talking about this before we kicked off the podcast as
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
right? How everything is just clouded and warped in different how can I say standards when it comes to dating now. People
Yeah.
say, I think this is going crazy on socials about how everybody's got to be crazy financially successful to date a woman, and also women are looking for emotional closure in men as well. That's
Yeah, yeah.
pretty much unavailable, and men and women are both lost in their own scenarios, mainly because of what society has been feeding us, right?
Pretty much.
It's for women, they're marry a rich guy. For men, it's find a good woman, but they can't pinpoint the benchmark of a good woman as well.
Yeah.
There's so many options out there in the world that everything is a big mess. So we're gonna be pretty much breaking this down today because we've been seeing some pretty disturbing trends when it comes to dating now.
It's
But
crazy.
I also feel like the fact that you had to be rich and powerful to get maybe the fairest maiden in all of the kingdom, it comes down from a long time, right? So is it exactly a new thing?
Yeah, because back in the day, if you had to get the fairest maiden, she's from a good house. She comes from a good background. But nowadays, chicks who are from absolutely nothing is
Right.
requesting for stuff that's
Right.
impossible to give. Like, where do you come? Oh, I come from this gummy. I'm like, what? And you want this? So I feel like that point, it does make sense up to a certain degree, but not anymore. It's a totally different game now, Nadun. So it's not that anymore.
And I think that people expect the world from others instead of doing their own inner work as well. You get what I
Exactly,
mean?
exactly.
You want somebody successful, but you're not going to work to be successful at the same time. Let's face it. If I'm dating somebody, we might not be on the same level when it comes to our financial status or the jobs we do. We if both of us are mirror images of each other, there is
Yeah.
no interest in that relationship, right? There's nothing to work on and stuff. But I think a lack of inner work, a lack of self-awareness, and constantly being influenced by external factors also play a big role in this whole mess when
Yeah.
it comes to the dating scene now.
That's a good point because we are all driven towards such instant gratification.
Yeah.
We want it right now. Even
Right
the girls
now.
want the handbag, the expensive handbag right now.
Pretty much right now.
Exactly.
They don't want
And-
to work for it over a long period of time.
Exactly.
Boys don't want to build with a woman, right? They don't want
No.
to get with a woman and take
Nothing at
time and
all.
build their life.
Exactly.
They want to get that thing really fast. Whatever they want, it could be something,
It's
sexual
completely different
or
now.
even
It's-
something else.
Even I pretty much experienced this. Like, social media, like, back in the day, if you want to talk to somebody, it takes time.
It takes
right?
time, a lot of
You
time.
send a text, you would get a text back in like hours because we were busy and,
Right.
we went on our phones all the time.
And
No.
even before that time, it was letters, right? You
Yeah.
see them maybe
Letters.
once a week.
Yeah, once a week, and you would get the reply in like weeks.
And
Right.
probably like passing a message while you're at school.
Right.
Writing it on a piece of paper and giving
Exactly.
you get a reply back like maybe like 2-3 periods later.
Exactly.
It's just
And
a
we
yes
had-
or a no.
Exactly. And we had patience, right? Now, what is, like you said, instant gratification, right? Even if you, let's say, slightly like somebody, you expect y'all to be like each other to be like marriage ready in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
It is a real thing
Yeah,
now
yeah,
because even women, most of the time, some men also, they're pressured into getting married at a certain age.
Correct.
So they want to fast track things without, like,
Actually
doing
checking stuff.
the background work.
But
Right.
what I'm gonna say is like it's not even marriage, getting married that's the issue. It's about like getting to know someone that's the issue. You can't really get to know anyone anymore, Mashan.
Right.
Like you just I don't know, like it's so weird. I feel like social media is like a really terrible platform, but even though I know some people are gonna be like, oh, why are you guys shooting on social media?
Yeah.
Like, why are you putting this up on social media? Like, how else can we reach people?
Are you going to watch it if not?
Exactly. How are you going to watch
How
it?
are
Should
you
I
going
put
to
in the
watch it?
newspaper, right? So I feel like everybody, like, now, I'm just going to take myself as an example.
Right.
I'm not going to go into any specifics, but I'm going to be like, ever since I got out of the whole relationship scene, my social media page has been changing. It's all about hating women. And I know for a fact, I see now that Instagram bought this reshare thing, I see a lot of women resharing stuff about hating men.
Yeah.
And so I feel like social media does this because they actually don't want us getting together. They don't want us because they want to keep us, like I said, like in the first episode, they want to keep us apart as much as possible so they can keep us on a screen.
When you say social media does that to us, isn't social media just a magnification of our emotions, our like whole ideals?
So basically,
Right.
it
As a
used to
result.
be that. Now it's all curated by algorithm, bro.
Okay.
Now you're fed everything basically. There's like I just saw Instagram like a TikTok post that said Instagram is actually dead. When was the last time you saw anyone posting anything on Instagram?
Yeah, like, things about your actual life, not curated content, not like things that's meant to go viral, but something human and raw,
Yeah. That's not there anymore. Now it's just a political sort of a platform now. Like manipulate you into
Right.
different things.
I think that comes with commercialization.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot
Right.
of commercialization also. And see, like, we do talk about the negative effects of social media, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, social media itself is not evil. It's the way people curate it. It's
Yeah,
the way
yeah.
we see it as well. Because we tend to absorb rather than observe.
Yeah.
Our sense of detachment is lost.
Yeah.
So imagine I'm having, like, let's say if I was dating somebody, I'm
Yeah.
having a bad day with this guy. I go on social media, the first thing I see is a quote trashing men, right?
Yeah.
My conflict with that person increases by 10 times. I was like,
Yeah.
yes, that's right.
That's right.
This guy
Exactly. That's
is
exactly it.
useless,
Yeah.
right? This is because we are constantly influenced by external factors.
Right.
We don't confront the person involved.
Yeah.
We go outside for gratification.
Exactly.
Then
Exactly.
things fall apart.
So today morning, okay, I opened up Instagram,
Okay.
and what's the first thing I see? I see it says, "Don't text her yet. Hold on, keep her waiting." I'm like, that's such a backward way of thinking, but because if I like this girl, I always want to talk to her.
Right.
I want to know how her day is going.
What about the 3-day rule, man?
That's bullshit. I don't believe in that. If I like someone, I just want to tell them.
Right.
But now it's like, if I tell them how I feel, I have to be wondering, am I being too open?
Right.
Am I being too much? That's
Am
what
I-
social media says. Don't open yourself up to someone.
Yeah, we're emotionally stunted.
Yeah, I'm like, if I don't open myself to someone, how can that person get to know me?
Right.
So,
Exactly.
exactly. It's so stunted.
Like, as humans, we have like a very sharp sense of instinct, right?
Yeah.
And our instinct is slowly dying because we tend to take relationship advice from social media.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, okay, let's say I want to text someone.
Right.
And then this says, like you said, the 3-day rule. Wait for 3 days.
Right.
And then another quote that I come across like a few seconds later says, live your life.
Live your
life
life.
is short. send that text, tell them how you feel. And you're like, wait, what? So you're constantly pushing down your gut instinct.
Yeah.
Because, you know, we are humans, right? We are connected. So if that person is interested, I would be kind of having an idea about it too.
Yeah, I agree with that. And the point I want to touch on is like you said, live your life, right? And yeah, you should try to always focus on your life and
Right.
building the best of it.
Right.
But I feel like modern day people take that another step forward where they're like, you know, build your life, become independent, and you don't need a partner. No, build your life, make it beautiful, and attract someone who will share that with you, who has the same passion as you.
Right.
Not by being independent, I don't need women, I don't need men to survive. No, attract someone who fits your vibe. Then only you can grow together.
Exactly.
That's
And
the
you
only
know,
way.
like no matter what people say, independence isn't exactly like it's a good thing to be
Yeah.
independent, right? You got to be independent.
Yeah.
But coming home to an empty house, no
No.
matter how big it is, even if it's a penthouse or a mansion, if you don't have anybody to share,
Especially
what
if
you
it's
have,
big.
Yeah.
exactly. If you don't have anybody to share it with, like a person who's genuinely supportive of
Yeah,
you,
yeah.
then that's really not success.
Yeah, so the message of the story is, guys, fall in love. Don't be afraid. I mean, of course, love is scary.
Yeah, it hurts.
It hurts, but that's just a part of being human. I feel like social media is destroying your brain way more than the heartbreak that you go through after a breakup.
That's true. I think we hurt more also is because we see a lot of painful things on Instagram,
Yeah.
right? Let's say okay, I text somebody, they don't text me back.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, okay, they might be busy. But I go on Instagram and then
Yeah.
there's 100 odd quotes about maybe he's with somebody else, maybe
Yeah.
he doesn't care, what you're going through, it's so much pain. And your sense of pain obviously is like magnified 100 times worse.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
So
the
that,
thing.
that when as like I said before, social media affects women way more than men because we are wired in a different way. So you guys overthink stuff, whereas we don't. We just see it and we scroll by it. But when you guys think about unnecessary stuff, and especially men, we like to avoid problems as much as possible.
But I would like to interject there. Is
Oh.
that like a justifiable definition of the man and women?
What do you
That's,
mean?
Like-
yeah.
Because you can see a manly, like the frame could be manly,
Okay.
but inside him there could be like very feminine features, very feminine ideals in him, right? And you can see like somebody who has a woman's body, but they could have like masculine traits about them.
Isn't that someone that's gay?
No,
Okay, no.
I feel like we are all gender fluid in a
Yeah,
way.
we are.
Yeah.
So I also like doing stuff. I also not like dressing up as women, but I have women's interests. Like what's that called? Metrosexual?
Maybe I don't know.
Oh,
Yeah, it is
I'm not-
metrosexual.
I'm not very familiar
Where
with the term.
you're masculine, but you have
Have,
interesting
like,
women
feminine
stuff.
traits.
Yeah,
Okay.
not feminine traits. Like you don't.
you
You're not
interested in
closed off to the
feminine
idea
pursuits?
of it.
Okay.
Not like like getting my nails done and all that stuff, but like
Yeah, because we tend to judge them by the way they are dressed,
Yeah.
or by the way maybe by their facial hair,
Right, right.
or maybe by their lipstick or whatever. But
Right.
inside them, there could be like a very ambitious and masculine man inside a very tiny feminine woman.
yeah.
right?
So I mean, I like that point though because like I'm a big guy. I mean, I like to believe that I'm a big. I don't think I'm a big guy, but I'm actually very soft on the inside.
Yeah,
I get
exactly.
hurt really fast.
See,
That's
that's,
feminine.
the thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and that's
the
nothing
thing.
wrong with that.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But that's the problem, right? See, men are known to like be less emotional and women are supposed to be over analyzing
Yeah,
things,
yeah.
right?
Right.
But at the end of the
Typically.
day, typically, but at the end of the day, we both the genders have to come to common ground as well. I think we tend to like avoid conflict nowadays by
Yeah.
coming up with points like this.
Right.
See, imagine if I'm a stubborn person by nature, right?
Yeah.
But when I like somebody and if I'm really interested in that person, I gotta
Yeah.
put my stubborn nature aside, I gotta put my ego aside, and I need to come to common ground. And even if that guy who's concerned, even if he's egoistical, even if he has a short
Yeah.
emotional intelligence span, he needs to expand it.
Yeah.
Like he needs to owe up to what he has done,
Yeah,
or if
pretty
there
much.
was a misunderstanding.
Right.
And both parties have to come together. Now, if I say, yeah, he's a guy, he can't think too much, I just let it slide. But what if that guy actually did not understand it?
Yeah.
And I need to speak up.
Yeah.
And if I speak up and he tends to ignore me saying, she's just overanalyzing, he's not respecting me either. You get what I mean?
Yeah,
You gotta
yeah.
come to common ground.
It's a give and take.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
give and take. And most people don't understand that anymore.
They don't. But honestly, just like, I mean, approaching women these days, it's so scary. It's scary as in you can't even just message them and just say, hey, what's up? You're a really beautiful person. They'll always perceive it in a different way. But I feel like that's because of all the stuff that are happening in society right now. I don't know, Nadun, what are you thinking of?
But they can also sense the thirst, man. I don't know if you're being thirsty out there.
No, but like if you say, okay, if you're like hot or something, sure. But I'm just trying to be like super polite and just be like, if I'm being honest, you're a really beautiful woman. Like,
Right. Maybe, I mean, you could be doing that from a very honest...
from a sincere point
from
of
a
view.
sincere
But
point of
like,
view,
I feel like through the years and experiences that she has gone through, I feel like she's like very...
Oh, you mean like she's damaged?
Yeah, she's damaged and she's probably like, oh, this guy's a creep. Like,
Yeah, like, see, where people go through very traumatic experiences,
Yeah.
right? When it comes to girls, like you said, we are
Yeah.
very emotional, right? When we go through a certain traumatic experience, we tend to think that all guys are the same.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be like that.
Right.
You need to like work on that
see,
perspective.
that's the thing. See, that's
Yeah.
exactly it. So social media posts depicts that every guy is exactly the same.
Exactly.
He's
So
an
we tend to
asshole.
like close ourselves off, right?
Exactly.
You can't technically blame most girls out there because they have been like, unfortunately, most of the time, women come across a lot of men who gives them false hope and stuff,
Exactly.
right? So when that happens, women go through this very traumatic time period.
Right.
And even if there's a really decent guy standing in front of them, they
They
think,
can't see it.
Yeah,
creep.
that's the thing.
Yeah.
And even like speaking of emotional damage, right?
Yeah.
Even we all have our childhood trauma.
Yeah.
right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So we do. And honestly, the one thing I really don't understand is flags.
Right.
When did these flags start?
Red flags.
Red flags,
green
green flags, yellow flags. When we were young, did we have flags?
Nope.
We just...
I don't remember. So.
If a guy is decent, he's decent.
He's
If
decent.
a girl is decent, she's decent.
Macam, we all have bad flags.
Right.
We are all red and green flags.
See, these flags are things like, okay, let's say you are always late to
Yeah.
turn up somewhere. They're like red flag, right?
What?
That's the thing. So these flags, technically, let's say you make one mistake, people like red flag. That red flag will define you for the rest of the relationship or whatever that is, right? Because they tend to basically judge you for only one mistake, and that will define your entire life. You can be the most decent person out there.
Right.
But then girls, okay, not just girls, even guys. Like, let's say a girl is known to talk to a guy back in the day, and like this guy that she's interested in, you know, she tends to like communicate with that person, and the guys around him will be like, oh, she's a red flag because she's been talking to that guy. They're
What?
judging people on their past.
That's such a double standard.
It is a double standard, right? That's the problem here. Guys, girls, they have very superficial double standards now. That's why they cannot connect.
Yeah.
Right.
Even if a woman approaches a man, I've seen this a lot. They'll be like, I'm emotionally stunted, I'm
A
stubborn.
man said that.
Yeah, they say stuff. There are men who say stuff like that
I
too.
would love it if a woman
Yeah.
approaches me.
But-
And they're like, I have been through my fair share of shit. That's cool, right? Everybody has been. But if they're not willing to put the inner work and, come to a solution, I think, I have been through my fair share of traumatic experiences when it comes to relationships. But when I really like somebody, I would put the effort. But I would also immediately step back if I don't see that guy reciprocating it, because I don't want to go through the same shit again.
Again.
You get what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
We are all like looking out for our best interest at the end of the day.
Exactly.
Right. And even I think like the double standards thing that we were talking about, it's sort of like a psychological complexity where I believe like we like to relate with the anti-hero very much because we put ourselves in their shoes.
Yeah.
Right. And that is like a thing that we have, especially with even like shows like House of Cards. He does like obscure things, right, to get power.
Yeah.
Yet we like him
Exactly.
because we try to put ourselves in his shoes to feel powerful and all that.
Powerful.
I think more than anything else, we want to be powerful or in a powerful place, right? And feel like we are better than
The other
other
person.
person.
I feel
Exactly.
like that's not everyone, Masha.
That's not everyone. I feel like there are many people who are conscious about that.
Yeah.
I feel like there are many people who are honest with themselves about that.
Yeah.
But that aspect is always going to be there. It has always been there.
But are you?
I sort of am in a way, not to be like...
Yeah, I think I agree with you because I met a friend recently and he was also acting a bit macho and all this stuff. I kind of see where your point is going.
It comes like in different ways, right? Some people try to be macho and like do the tough guy act to feel better.
Yeah.
Some people think that they're intellectually better.
Yeah.
Some people think that they're richer and stuff. Some people think that they're more better looking.
Yeah.
It comes in different ways.
Yeah, it's a
What?
it's a
Is that a point
inferiority
towards me?
complex.
I'm not saying.
Because you gave me the look. I was like, some people think that they're better than me.
He
They
gave the
look better than
side
me.
eye.
I'm like, okay. Okay, back to the topic.
No, it
yeah.
could come in different ways,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
We think we always like to put ourselves in a pedestal.
Yeah.
Isn't that so?
I think why we do that also is because they're like we are just giving them a subtle warning, like
Right.
beware, I'm
who
better
we
than
are,
you.
yeah.
So you better think twice before you fumble me.
Yeah.
You get what I mean?
And that's the ego.
yeah, that
that's
is
ego.
the
That
ego.
is the ego.
Ego.
There's nothing
we
else.
we
right?
can't drop the ego. One thing is because whether we like it or not, because of our memories, like because of our past, because of our experiences, and also you don't want to be the lesser person. You don't want to be the bigger person. Rather, you can't drop that.
And you don't want to be you don't have it shouldn't go on reverse either. You shouldn't feel like you should never have that inferiority
Yeah,
complex
yeah.
because that's
you
more
can't
dangerous.
shrink. Yeah.
So just imagine, guys, now these sound really bad. Just imagine when it translates into a relationship, how bad it must be between both of them. Because both of
Exactly.
them are feeling exactly the same. I'm better than you, you're better than me. How can you be
Exactly.
better than me? I'm better than you.
yeah.
That is the problem.
That is the problem.
I was in a relationship like that. So this guy, he's super successful, and I was also steadily growing in my career. So rather than us appreciating each other, that was the initial stage of it.
Yeah,
We were
yeah.
supporting each other, and then I realized no matter how much I support him, it's always the fact that he's trying to act superior.
Right.
And I also have my own career, and
Right.
I'm thriving in it. And this didn't sit well with me either. And it eventually became like a pissing competition, right? Oh yeah, whatever. I'm better than you.
Right.
And it's
See-
like, how are you better than me? I'm better than you.
It shouldn't. I would be happy if my woman was doing better than me. I mean, I'd love to be a house husband. That's not an issue at all.
That's insecurity, right?
Yeah.
Because he would think that if I'm more successful than him, he would eventually have to be under me. And I would think, I eventually came to a point where I thought like that. Okay, if by any chance I am not financially independent and I have to depend on this guy is going to call the
Yeah.
shots, and he's going to eventually mistreat me in the future. You get what I mean?
I get what you mean. And it's just so sad to see how love is diluted like that, bro.
Yeah, it's monetized now.
It's monetized, and basically it's just material now. It's like, what can you offer? I mean, I understand. I know you're thinking in the back of your head, back in the day, the best hunter bought the best food. I know you're going to say some shit like that. But it's a modern time, bro.
Right.
It's a different time.
No. Of course, we can speak of our experiences, right? This is the time that we are living in.
Yeah.
So, of course, we are going to see the holes in this game.
Exactly, because it's way worse than back in the day. Like, if you just bought that meat and you
Yeah.
Right? You bought that meat and you got your meat treated.
But at the same time, even in the present world, you gotta be financially stable though.
Yeah, definitely.
It's not like you can go off with a beggar and have
yeah,
kids
obviously,
and
naturally.
just be destitute and poor, right? But at the same time, people have to be a bit more realistic also. Imagine if I come from a middle class family.
Exactly.
I can't expect to have a billionaire boyfriend and be like, okay, you provide me, I gotta come up to that rank.
Yeah.
You
definitely.
might, you never know. But then
never
again,
know, you can,
Yeah,
but-
you can. But that doesn't have to be your benchmark for a relationship or
Right.
a marriage in the future.
Exactly. It's like everybody's trying to be. It's like everybody trying to be an NBA player, right?
Yeah.
Pretty much. Nobody wants to be an average Joe.
Exactly. And how many get to play in the NBA, right? For a basketball team.
Not much.
Exactly.
Very few. Only if you got the actual talent, you can make through it.
Even if you got the talent, there could be injuries along
Yeah.
the way. There could be other stuff.
Yeah.
Somebody could shoot you.
Yeah.
Right?
That's the thing. They are looking for perfection. Oh my God. I saw this news yesterday on Instagram, right? So this guy in India, apparently he's obsessed with this dancer called Nora Fatehi, that
Yeah.
Whoa.
Indian lady. Yeah. So he wants the wife to look exactly like her. So he's been pretty much starving her and making her intensely work out so that she'll lose weight and eventually look like Nora.
Right.
And that's crazy.
That
For
is-
real?
Yeah. That's an actual story, by the way. It was all over Instagram yesterday.
That is psychotic.
It is psychotic, but see, look at it. He does not appreciate her for who she is. He's obsessed with a woman who's pretty much a celebrity.
Who doesn't
She
even
was-
know him.
Exactly. Who was born to literally dance. You see, you can't compare ourselves with celebrities anymore. They have
Whose
age.
beauty is probably fabricated. It's not
Exactly. It's
natural beauty.
fabricated and their whole
Yeah,
life
definitely.
revolves around beauty rituals, right? You don't have time to do you have time or the money to spend billions on skin procedures or
Exactly.
cosmetic surgery? No.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
don't
that-
even
that's
look
pretty
like
much it now. Now it's not even like beauty products or anymore. They just
Exactly,
do
it's-
cosmetic changed to their
Surgery,
face,
yeah.
pretty much.
Exactly. They don't even look like that in the first place, and we are trying to become them. And our better halves expect us to look like celebrities and models.
Yeah, honestly, you have a great point there. But what I'm gonna say is, like, from my point of view, as to how what I see in a partner is, become interesting, be cool,
Yeah.
have fun. Because I saw this post. It said if you remove lust from the picture, 90% of women are really boring, and that's true. I've been speaking to so many. I'm not gonna say that I've been speaking to so many women, but like the one or two that I've been speaking,
Right.
they're not very interesting. It's like no sense of humor. I mean, they're beautiful. This generation has the most beautiful women ever.
So you're claiming you've taken lust completely out of the picture?
I have.
You have?
I have. Okay, I'm not saying like in the initial stage I have. Like obviously.
There's
Okay,
layers.
okay. Even an ugly person wouldn't like to date an ugly person. That's the reality of it. Obviously, we like someone who
You
looks
go
good.
for the looks first.
Yeah, first.
Aesthetics.
Obviously, aesthetics. Obviously, like, you would think a woman would approach
Of
me if
course.
I was shit looking.
Right.
I mean, I'm not saying that I'm good looking.
No, you are good looking.
I'm an average Joe.
Right.
I mean, you're better looking than me.
You are better looking than
Bro,
me.
you are better. I think
She's better
Vindula,
looking
our
than
camera guy, looks way better.
No,
we
you
are
look better
feminine-
than
we are
me.
feminine men.
Stop. You
we're
look better
feminine
than
men.
me. Yeah.
I'm okay with my sensitive side. I like to admit when I'm wrong.
Right.
I mean, if I'm not attractive, I mean, I'm not attractive. But yeah, like what I'm trying to say is like men and women actually become interesting, become funny. Because at the end of the day, I've been in a long-term relationship, and all I can say is it's the looks just wither away after like probably like a year. It's the personality that sticks. You need to really have a nice personality
Of
to
course.
keep that joint going. So if you don't have a good personality, then eventually at one point, maybe sometimes if you're lucky enough, it might end sooner. And sometimes you might have kids and it might end at that point.
That is scary.
That is the scary part because
Yeah.
it's not about them anymore. It's the kids that are going to get damaged.
Yeah, they're going to get caught up in the crossfire. That's
Yeah.
another generation of wounded kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would say definitely fall in love. There's absolutely nothing wrong with falling in love. You need him. Humans are never meant to be independent. We are always meant to be codependent. We need someone. We literally die when we are alone. You know that, right?
Yeah, broken heart syndrome.
Yeah. We literally die. We lose our will to live.
Right.
But we don't see it. But inside, we don't know what's going on inside
Yeah,
our body.
we are
It's
actually dying.
Yeah, on the inside. I mean, we are literally dying, but we are like expediting the process, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're saying there's another like dimension to it rather
Yeah.
than the
Yeah.
the medical reasons.
Yeah. Exactly.
It fastens the process.
Yeah.
You age faster when you're alone.
Yeah. I'm not gonna deny, like, I like smart women.
Okay.
I love it. Sometimes I like to feel stupid. 'Cause like,
No, see, that's a good thing, right? But like most people don't really understand this, which is why relationships fall apart in the long term. Because I've seen this a lot because most of my guy friends went for very good looking women.
yeah.
But as a woman, I can see those women without that lust filter,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So they are not exactly as cooked up, no offense to women, right?
Yeah.
But they are not exactly as interesting or kind or considerate or intellectual as these guys think.
Exactly.
So what happens is after everything is said and done, couple of months go by, the honeymoon phase is over, they are tired of them. They are annoyed by them, right? And they're like, they're so clingy. What the hell is she talking about? Nothing makes sense because they were in lust than in love.
Right. But I feel like some guys do like it when their woman is dumb and attractive.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
someone
for
who's
some
like
people,
properly
that works in
That
the long
works
run.
for them.
yeah, someone who's properly narcissistic or
Right,
something who
yeah,
likes a woman under him.
Exactly. So
Sure.
that works perfectly. Now, if the woman is also fine with being under the man and like, basically just being like the submissive one and, cooperating in that sense,
Yeah.
that will work.
Yeah. So how else are like people like Marilyn Monroe so famous, right? Men were attracted to her
Exactly.
by her like the silliness that she exhibits.
Yeah.
Right.
But I gotta
She's
say,
very feminine also.
yeah,
I mean,
exactly. I love feminine
And blonde
women.
hair.
Yeah, exactly. See, that's the whole point of being a woman. Why are you born a woman when you're trying to be
That
like
hurts
super buff? What?
No,
Yeah,
you're
please do.
not
Like, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
a woman, right?
Pretty much.
I
yeah.
feel like we like to hear it from a woman itself.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, see, I understand, like, there are so many different types of women, right? Some women like to be fit and buff and all that. That's all cool, right? But when it comes to an attraction point of view, yes, there's always guys who love, like, chicks who are, like, all buffed up in the
Yeah.
gym and stuff, right?
I've
advantage.
never met any.
Yeah, okay. There are a
great.
few
No, I-
people like
okay,
that.
Okay,
There you go.
not like crazy buff, like cuts and all, like
Yeah.
poddak thing.
Poddak,
Chick that
fit
goes to gym, you also like that shit.
Yeah, pretty much.
Not much,
Not much.
to be honest.
See,
I
that's
like a
the
little
thing.
pudge.
I like physically fit women. There's
See,
nothing wrong with
that's a very niche, right?
Yeah.
But majority of the men out there, whether they say it or not, they
Right.
go for the very feminine women because men want to feel masculine, right? They are known as like, okay, they are generally the breadwinners of the family. They are the providers. They are the ones who provide safety for the
Yeah.
women. That's a natural order, right?
Yeah.
So that's why women tend to be more gravitated towards like the feminine women. Unfortunately, I gotta say this as well. Most women are turning masculine is because most men are letting them down also.
I actually saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's because this world is turned against men. Like we can't do anything masculine. It's taglined as misogynistic.
Exactly. So that's a whole. There's this whole situation is a big misunderstanding, right? Let's say I see a man hustling. I'm like, oh, he's not even paying attention to his woman. Always making money day and night, right? So then what happens is he feels like he's being too manly.
Yeah.
And then he tends to step back. And then it's like, okay, I got to focus on myself. And then they are branded being too girly or weak or, they don't care about, being a breadwinner for the family.
Right.
Right.
Similarly, okay, so when men like that kind of step back, the women are negatively affected, right? So then what happens is the woman steps up. And then the woman subconsciously gets very masculine traits. It's like, okay, I'm going to be the breadwinner. I'm going to take charge of the family. And they actually turn masculine. I know this because I've seen women who have gone through this.
Yep, pretty much.
And then they take no shit from any men. Their soft side is dead.
Yeah.
And the chances are that they will never return to that phase.
And then they wonder, why am I single? I'm perfect. I have a job. I have everything. Why
Exactly.
do men not
They've
attract
forgotten
me?
their femininity because of the harsh circumstances,
Yeah.
right?
If I wanted a man, I'd be gay.
Yeah. See, have you ever seen, okay, there's a lot of poor women out there. If you go to the estates and stuff,
They are
Yeah.
the breadwinners of the family.
they are
They
the
are the
breadwinners.
breadwinners.
You won't see them, giggling in a corner with a flower in their
Exactly.
hand because the circumstances that they were born into have never allowed them to be the women that they were supposed to be.
Because their man is out there drinking toddies.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I actually went out
Every
recently.
penny they earn goes to the bar, right?
Yeah.
But they still don't give up.
Yeah.
So some women, sadly, don't have the luxury of being feminine.
No, the thing is, I feel like, like you said,
And that's something that you won't see in the social media.
social media, exactly.
Exactly.
So I feel like, the woman actually, I'm going to admit this now, but women are way smarter than men, 100 times smarter than men, whether you like to admit it or
Especially
not.
emotionally.
Yeah, emotionally and when it comes to finances and everything.
Right.
Yeah,
So
of
our
course.
parents, my
So,
dad.
to have financial discipline, you need a lot of emotional intelligence.
Exactly. Oh, yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, because impulsive spending.
Exactly. So I feel like we say the father is the leader of the house. Actually, it's the mother.
Yeah, but have you seen back in the day? This was very common practice. The husband comes and gives a salary to the wife, so that she will manage the
Do all
expenses,
the expenses
and run
and
the
everything.
household.
So yeah, that's kind of like my.
That's a Sri Lankan way.
Yeah, that's a Sri Lankan.
South
way.
Asian way, maybe.
South Asian.
Yeah, I feel like, but I feel like even I saw this couple in London recently. When the salary comes, when the husband gets a salary, she opens up a spreadsheet file and she files all the mortgages and everything, all the expenses for a month, and then they keep their vacation fund aside, and then they keep everything aside. I mean,
I
I
think
think it
Japan
happens.
also this happens.
Yeah, it happens, and it works, Machan. Because we are reckless, to
If
be
it
honest.
works, it works.
If it works, it works. Because if you look at it like
You're a team, right?
Yeah.
You need to feel like
exactly, you don't have to be
do it.
threatened by anybody.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So like even when it comes to my parents, like my dad was not a crazy intellectual, but he knew how to make money. So
And he was a
he was a racer.
right?
And he made a lot of money. But he was very before he met my mom, he was crazy. He was just spending like crazy. But by the end of his life, Machan, he built an empire.
right.
And he's left it all for us, where we are okay, where we don't have to work a day in our life. So I feel like if you meet the right woman, Machan, everything can be sorted.
Exactly.
And I feel like women also should embrace that. Stop trying to look for richness in somebody else, then look for richness within yourself. Enrich yourself, educate yourself, and attract the vibe that you give out is the vibe that you get back.
Right.
So always try to give out positivity and love, and don't be closed off to the idea of love.
Exactly. And even guys, that's like the same
Yeah,
thing.
the
Like,
same
they should be more open minded to find the right woman also.
Yeah.
I've seen most men, they are very successful in life, but because of that one wrong choice of finding the wrong woman,
Right.
their whole life falls apart.
Pretty much.
That's the thing.
That's it.
That's a big part of where.
Exactly.
How
Because
your life is
see,
gonna turn out,
for
yeah.
a man, a woman is like an anchor, right?
Yeah.
She, more like a steering wheel, actually. She steers his life path. Either she'll take him down or she'll take him upwards.
Yeah.
Simple as that. Because I've seen this, one of my mom's friends, he's a very successful businessman. He was a billionaire, right?
Yeah.
But he has a weakness for women. So he had one good woman when he was very young. When she supported him so much that he built his business empire purely because of her support.
Right.
And what happened was when the money comes in, the women comes in, right? She left because she couldn't stand all this nonsense.
yeah.
And now he's been divorced 5-6 times. And his money is dwindling because he pays custody, child maintenance to multiple people out there, right? It's all for women, it's ideal, it's essential that they understand their worth and find a good man. When I say worth, this is not about Birkins. It's about how your financial, your emotional intelligence, your
Right.
financial capabilities, and then you find a man you can build with. And similarly for men, they need to find a woman who would be supportive and unconditionally, be with them
Yeah.
throughout life.
I feel like
That's a great message.
that's a great message, and I feel like because of the constant dopamine rush and the constant emotional struggles that we have on social media, it's becoming tough to go through hard times together. Whenever something happens, I'm going to break up with him and that's it.
Yeah.
It's not like you don't want to talk it out or figure
Yeah.
a solution to the problem.
And they'd be like, why should I talk to her? She
Yeah.
can talk to me. Well, why should I talk to him?
Exactly. This ego, honestly, bro, I feel like I grew up in a very egoistic house. You know whom I'm. I don't need to tell you, you know the situation.
Right.
But I feel like religion has a massive part to play in relationships as well. Because there is no religion anymore within relationships. I've noticed this. Me personally, I'm going to be biased, but I'm always going to go for a Catholic girl, a Christian girl.
Fair enough.
Because our religion is based on suffering. And a woman that can go through this suffering and properly understand this suffering will always stick with you regardless. And I feel like everyone else also, Nishadi, you're a good person. You're actually a pretty nice chick. Because you believe in something. You believe in your Hinduism and Buddhism and everything.
Exactly.
You've embraced it.
Yeah.
And so have you as well. You're an intellectual, Machan.
No, I'm a religious person.
You're a
bro.
religious
I have
person.
surrendered to a higher power.
Exactly.
I don't know what it is, but
Yeah. So basically, I feel like because of all that, we have actually let go of our ego. Like me, I have no ego. Like, if you're better than me, I'll admit it, bro. And right now, ever since I turned to religion, I'm always happy for anyone who's doing better than me. I used to be very jealous. I mean, that's naturally, that's how we grew up.
But jealousy is not a bad thing. It's envy that's bad. If
Yeah.
you're jealous, that means you're just competitive and you want to get there. Right?
Yeah, I guess it's envy. Yeah, like you say, yeah. Maybe it's just the wording that I just put in.
Knowing that you're never going to get there and yet feeling like have some distasteful
Exactly.
feeling toward that person, that's not helpful for
Exactly.
you either.
Exactly.
So
that's true.
when you translate that into a relationship, I feel like both parties, they want everything from a partner. I want the perfect partner. I want the perfect house. I want the perfect car. They want everything from their partner, but they don't realize that they can build it both together.
Yeah, it has to come in the package.
Yeah, and the other biggest issue is I feel like we don't really have anyone to turn to for good advice. Who do you guys turn to advice for when it comes to love in our country?
I talk to my wife, to be honest.
Okay, let's say if you guys are having an issue, who do you talk to?
We never have had an issue where it got dragged for more than a day. Like when we are
That's a
like
good
trying
thing.
to sleep,
Yeah.
we will like have a good.
That's
heart
actually a
to heart.
good way. They say like before you sleep, you should actually sort out all your problems.
Yeah, because it festers day
Yeah,
by
it
day. That's a
festers.
very good thing, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we are not perfect or anything.
Yeah, definitely. No one is
See,
perfect.
no
I don't
one
want
is
to ask
perfect.
us.
Yeah, that's right. No,
Knock on wood.
yeah, touch wood. But that's a very realistic approach,
Yeah.
right? This is not some fantasy, right? You guys are doing the hard work to basically resolve your conflicts.
And even today morning, I was annoyed with her, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
when I
that's
go
normal.
home tonight, I'll try to,
Sort it out and
like a silly
baba.
joke.
Mage aadare.
See, that is what it takes, right?
Yeah.
Most of the time. See, now imagine we laughed when we talked about it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Because subconsciously we think doing that is kind of somewhat like beneath us.
Yeah.
That's what we've been taught.
But that's what you have to do.
Yeah, that's what you gotta do because it's a marriage, it's a relationship, right?
Yeah.
This is the stark reality of it. You gotta put your ego aside and go to your woman, or even the woman has to put their ego aside and come and apologize if they've done something wrong.
Yeah.
But somehow society shows us that it's wrong.
Yeah. Exactly. That's
Yeah,
the thing,
that's
right?
the thing. That makes you feel a bit like, it's a bit lame if
Yeah.
you do that. Like, why should you apologize to her?
What a man. Why are you doing that?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Be a man, right? Have a spine. You know?
Like, I feel like it's just I don't know why being a nice guy is like such a bad thing these days. You know,
Not that those thoughts don't cross.
it does.
Yeah.
Naturally, we are all human beings.
But you have basically overcome them, which
Right.
is a very good thing. Some
Trying
people
to.
try, you're
Every day.
trying to, and you have someone cross that over, right? Like, you get what I mean. You do talk to her before you go to sleep, which is a very good thing.
I feel like I'm gonna play with this mic all day.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
Dude,
fiddle with it all day just to get the right position.
I actually like this setup.
yeah,
I actually do
exactly.
like it too. So, like, what was I saying before?
So, keeping our ego
Yeah.
aside.
Yeah, keeping our ego aside.
But there is just let me interject for 1 second, Mashan. I think it's always better to like let things go and work it out and find something that's going to work for your future because we are not going to live forever, right?
No.
Exactly. And like love is like we mentioned before, it's give and take, right?
Yeah.
So if you put in the work and you still can't come to a resolution, then it's time to let go. But at the same time, like, relationships do take a lot of work, right?
Right.
It's a lot of inner work, not just the guy giving you something and you giving something to that person. You need to be like, you need to like work on yourself from the insides as well. How you
Right.
think about, overcoming your insecurity issues. Because life is not easy now, right? Like you get
Right.
you're
Like
giving
me
a
playing with
smirk.
my
Exactly. See, like the thing is, nowadays your job is stressful, the economy is stressful, the social factors are stressful. Everything is basically pure pressure, right?
Yeah.
So you don't want your relationship to be another battleground. Like your home and your relationship should be something that brings you a lot of peace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
But that comes with a lot of work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta get there.
And especially men, we look for peace in a woman.
Yeah.
That's what we want.
Right.
Exactly.
But there's also a dichotomy there, right? Because you feel like if it's an yes woman, like if she says yes to everything that you do,
Yeah.
and you just become like, there's this quote, right? Eventually, like, kill me, let the lions eat me before I eat the rabbit.
Right. Yeah.
So you will eventually become the oppressor. if
Exactly.
she's
Yeah.
going to be very like. She's
Yeah,
gonna take
because
it
then he will stop asking permission for things and,
No, I don't mean like that sort of peace, Masha. Obviously, there is no woman
Yeah.
out there or no man out there they're not gonna have an issue with each other. Obviously, but
Yeah.
that's not what I mean. But like, I get
No,
your point as well.
Yeah, I get your point as well because, there should be some sanity, like, and some sanctity.
and compatibility.
Yeah.
Like, you get what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's not always about saying yes or no. Even like, let's say you come to a point where you say no, the person, like, let's say the man who hears the no should have the ability to understand where that no is coming from. It's always a fact of acceptance and understanding and cooperating.
Yeah, pretty much. So it's like, at the end of the day, I'd like to find someone who I can just unwind,
Right.
Just
Exactly.
like come home from a stressful, because
And let go, right?
let go, because the
Let
world
go.
out there is tough.
Yeah.
I don't need my house to be tough as well.
Exactly.
It's my zen place.
Exactly.
Definitely not going to be another battlefield,
Exactly, because
yeah.
that's when the problems start. That's when all the divorces and everything comes in,
Right.
sets in. So the message here is always be open to love. Don't be closed off to it. I know social media will always tell you to be closed off to it, but like we are saying, be open to it.
Yeah, be open to it. Be open to let go. Be open to connect.
Yeah, and sometimes maybe
Really
you,
connect.
Yeah, you might have grown up in a different way, but when you're binding with somebody else, naturally you have to change a bit. We all have to change
Yeah,
our
of
habits.
course. You can't be who you
Yeah,
are.
exactly.
Like, see, it's not like you're going to reprogram your entire, personality, but you got to make certain adjustments to be with
definitely
someone.
there needs to be
Yeah.
compromises in both
Exactly.
sides to make it work.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, we are all going to be miserable. Like once you come to your late 30s and all that stuff, you're going to just be miserable. You're going to regret
Yeah.
the choices you never made. You never said yes to that person, or you didn't give him a chance or anything
Yeah,
like
and
that.
when you're lonely, that's like, see, loneliness isn't the main reason to get along with somebody. You need to have genuine connection.
Yeah,
But to build that, you got to be open.
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna digress just for a second. But right now, the best investments are wine and pet accessories and cat food.
Okay.
Because by the year 20, what year is this? 2025. By the year 2045, 45% of the population of women are going to be single.
Yeah.
And because the number one thing they go to is either cats or wine.
That's around the world, though.
That's around the world.
Yeah, pretty much. And even there's a lot of like a
Wine,
sharp drop.
cats.
Yeah, wine and cats
Wine
and dogs.
cats and dogs,
And
pretty
dogs.
much.
Yeah, pets. That's going to be the next investment. Trust me, it's going to be the case. Not if we have something to say about it and you ladies and gents listen to our stuff and
Yeah.
actually change.
Yeah.
So change.
Change, yeah, it's not a bad thing. I mean, I'm a fine one to say because I have had my, stubborn episodes as well going through one.
Yeah.
But,
And trust me, sometimes.
We've all had, right?
Yeah,
we've
we've all had episodes.
I mean, see, even if you find that person, it's always a journey, right? You're still continuously improving yourself.
And
Yeah.
if you happen to think you're perfect, that's probably
An
a
issue.
red
Trust
flag.
me, that is
That is an
red
issue.
flag.
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody's perfect. But then, like, even let's say you don't want to get into a relationship, there are lots of positive outcomes of a relationship.
Right.
I mean, I'm the exact example of a positive outcome of a relationship, even though it ended. You remember how fat I used to be, right?
You mean your parents or?
No,
Oh,
me.
Okay. okay.
You remember how huge I used to be, right?
Yeah, and you started working out because of her, right?
Exactly, because I feel like I've got to give her massive props because of her only. I'm like this right now. I would not be. I'd be probably dead.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I would probably be dead.
So it's a successful relationship. It just
Yeah.
had its expiration date, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, and everything ends at the end of the
And you
day.
don't
Yeah,
have any-
so it
Right.
doesn't mean like some people come into your lives just for a temporary sort of thing, but like some people do come into your life to actually make some change in your life. So maybe you need to go through this particular person to find the right person.
Absolutely.
So don't always look for I need to check this list. Okay, he needs to have money, he needs to have a car. Trust me, that's not the way to go. Find someone. Just invest in someone.
It does help to have money.
Of course.
Yeah.
It does
It
help to
does.
have
It
a
does.
car. And if you have any money like that's waiting for you, especially if you have worked in Australia and you have a superannuation fund waiting for you, you better get that. And our friends at Ali Tax will be able to help you out. Okay. So we will put the link in the description. Go click on that and get your superannuation now. Don't let that money don't keep that money waiting, right?
That's your money.
It's yours. Use it.
dollars.
Bring it back to Sri Lanka.
Bring it back to Sri
Bring
Lanka.
it back.
Yeah, we need it.
See you.
Thank you.
Hello.
That was
Carry
nice.
segment.